Okay, here's day 2. I'm not gonna do this every day, so I don't know why I have that listed. Um, I don't want to look like a weirdo in front of my neighbors, but look at this. You see that? You see how nice that looks? You see how amazing that is? You see why that makes more sense than what the hell is going on in the city? The city's overrated. Um, I didn't get a chance to fully look into it, but I did hear about the Mel Robbins let them theorem being plagiarized or somewhat plagiarized. And this just goes into this whole larger issue of authenticity. And I'm not insulting Mel Robbins, I'm not coming after her because it's not really her fault. Right? So I'm gonna flip it and we'll use a male's perspective, right? Granted, he's dead, but it's Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels blatantly admitted to closing business deals in a strip club. Granted, not on the strip dance floor, but in the restaurant where the strip club is there, but the women do go back and forth. He admitted to that. Why? Because on a very basic level, a heterosexual male likes steak and they like beautiful women, right? So, and he admitted to it. He made a deal with some of the dancers, come and dress nice or look nice and help me close this deal and you get a piece of it. And that was him being a businessman. There's a difference. Kevin Samuels admitted to that because he knew on an instinctual level that he was being authentic. And he knew that the men or maybe potential women that he was doing business with, who knows, they were being authentic. Because if you ask me, hey, do you want to go to a steakhouse and a strip club? I might say no, because I don't like strip clubs. The food might be really good, so maybe I'll consider it based on the food. But if you just told me, hey, let's go to the strip club, I'm not going to say yes because I think they're tacky and overrated or whatever. But there's a sense of authenticity to that. So what you need to look at with the Mel Robbins situation is maybe she felt like she needed to plagiarize whatever part she did, or whether she did it or not, because everything is plagiarized. There's not one original thought in this world anymore. And there's actually a funny enough, there's an episode of the Nickelodeon show Zoe 101 where two of the male characters start some sort of animated YouTube type of show with cartoons. And they do a skit where there are bowling pins and they're afraid of the bowling ball. In that episode of Zoe 101, the guys get hit with some sort of lawsuit claiming that they took the copyright. They basically stole the skit from an old episode of SNL, which is relevant because SNL and the Morgan Waller situation. See, I tied it together. There's no such thing as an original thought, right? So whether Mel Robbins plagiarized or not, all of this self-help, all of this, do better, learn about yourself stuff, all of this psychology, all of this came from philosophy. All of this came from Socrates and Plato and Aristotle. You know why? Because they were the original philosophers. And as far as we know, there was probably philosophy before that, because ancient Greece is not the very first civilization. We know this. We know ancient Egypt was either before or around at the same time as ancient Greece. And there's probably a lot before that, right? So why did Mel Robbins feel the need to plagiarize? Because she tried to take an idea that helped her live according to her authentic self, and she tried to monetize it. And whether she did it on purpose or by accident, again, we're still trying to figure that out. But that's kind of the point, right? If business was so easy, Kevin Samuels wouldn't have needed to go to a strip club to close deals. Because business should be, hey, I have a product, you have a need, let me sell you my product. But in reality, before the internet, if I needed a service done, I'd get in my car or I'd get on the bus and I'd drive to the main street and I'd go to the store that I know exists and I know the business hours of, and I would procure my services there. I'm not saying the internet is bad. Obviously, the internet helps with business. But something happened and we're all lying to ourselves and it's ridiculous. And I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I'm not trying to be a self-help coach. I have a life coach. I have a self-help coach. And as much as they've been a help to me, I kind of think it's stupid. Because again, you're trying to monetize something that we should actively be doing on our own. You know, like I talk to my life coach and I tell him all the time, I say, listen, man, I know you're trying to help me, but I can't sit and meditate every day. I can't do this AIM session every day because it doesn't resolve anything. We want our problems resolved. Yes, we want to have empathy, we want to receive empathy, but we want our problems solved. And I don't think anybody understands that. So we need to just take a step back, especially with the Morgan Waller thing, which is a more relevant thing in pop culture. So when I post this, you know, I probably will get some views on LinkedIn because of it, but I'll also post this to Instagram and maybe people will pay attention to that. I stopped liking SNL a long time ago. Mad TV was so much better. I'm sorry. I wish Mad TV would come back because SNL is way too much. They have some good stars, but it's way too polarizing. Mad TV was more authentic because they realized, yeah, we're going to make a butt joke. Yeah, we're going to use crude humor. Why? Because it works on an instinctual level. There is this robin or an oriole sitting on my mailbox. And it is so beautiful. Oh, there it goes. Okay. The animals here have such bright colors, like the birds. The cardinals, their red is so much richer than like cardinals that I've seen in Central Park. It's amazing. Look, we just need to realize who we are or what we like as people. And the problem is, we go to get these jobs or we go to try and freelance and we put on this mask and we try to be professional and we lose all the authenticity. I was working, I'm still working, but I was working, with IBM. And the realest people there were the security guards and the lunch staff, the cafeteria staff, or the guy that did the printers. The so-called contractors, they were the realest people in that whole building. And IBM is a perfect example because they laid off 10,000 people. In that building in particular, they laid off 200 people. Right? Why? Greed. IBM wasn't losing money. They needed to keep putting money into that investment. That building is not finished. That building had a lot of problems. And I had to fix them or be a part of fixing them. Doing things that were not in my scope. And I did it anyway. Why? Because I was trying to be professional. But nobody was being authentic. Look, my hashtag is accept your eccentricities. And I used to think that was good because you had to accept all the positive things that made you tick. But if you're an angry person, if you're a bitter person, you need to accept that too. And you know what? Put that out there. Because people like Bill Burr and Louis Black, they make money off of that. 50 Cent makes money because he's petty. So just do it. Who cares what the company says? As long as you don't break their rules, you'll be fine. But we need to put that line, because the fact that you could get canceled over something that you said off hours or something you did off hours is ridiculous. And that's not authentic. So no wonder Mel Robbins felt the need to plagiarize. If she did, right? Plagiarize. You could write a whole book in Chat GPT. That's not original. Stop fooling yourself. Hire me. This is going to go too late for LinkedIn, so I'm going to stop this now.